may have seen him at the what is it? The
Justin's
pouring up drinks for you.
Yeah,
right.
I do pour drinks
You know
for the
what I'm
Atlanta
saying?
Hawks. I am the favorite son of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. After the GOAT, after Muhammad Ali.
The only black man
Don't matter. I'm still a son of the
only
Commonwealth.
black man I know who to come out of Kentucky and actually rep Kentucky and didn't go to the University of Kentucky.
That don't matter. I have several family members that went to the University of Louisville
God.
and the University of Kentucky. So there.
And our guest, apparently, as you can see, James in the building. We appreciate you for showing up, James.
ATL living, Kentucky bred.
Oh man, you are such an interesting man.
Thank you
That's
indeed.
such an interesting man.
We appreciate it.
Right.
Yeah, and it seems like you've had a lot of it.
I'm the smallest nigga on the podcast right now. What we talking about?
You small in comparison.
Right, and genetically you smaller.
I'm the smallest nigga on the podcast. James' stomach sitting on the dick.
Compliments to the Colonel.
Hey, compliments to the Colonel. Get right into it, man. I want to ask you a question, man.
Okay.
So at what age did Mark DM you first?
What age did he DM me first? I think it was.
He slid in your DM. Who slid in each other DM first?
I think it was circa 2015.
I wasn't even here.
When you met James?
No, actually, I met James and them from Montoya podcast.
In a freaky group. That's what
I met James.
Invited. I'm still waiting to get invited.
It ain't gonna be the tools you need in there.
See, I won't be allowed.
I met him at Mental Dialogue.
Okay.
Back when I was early on with it, so 2000, probably like 13. Probably about when I lived in Marietta. So.
This when y'all first met?
Actually, this might go back further than 2013. No, it was about 12, 13.
Okay. How did you go with Mental Dialogue? You need a stand or something? You need me to sit there?
Well, I don't even know if I have enough memory, but we can do that.
No, I ain't got no stand. I'm just bullshit.
That's what I thought.
don't know what you thought this was. Goddamn, this is right.
I thought they were professional. Apparently,
This
not.
is government section.
It ain't even that. The government would be higher. Then we would have certified funds guaranteed.
Hilarious. So James, how did you? First off, when did you make the transition to go from Kentucky to Atlanta? And were you the first gay black man in Kentucky?
What kind of shit question is that?
Is this
What
gonna
the
cancel
hell?
me? Am I canceled?
You
Is that
canceled.
cancelable? Is that cancelable?
Yeah, it's canceled.
Oh, hell
How dare
nah.
you?
Oh my God! So you can't even ask gay men if they gay when they became gay or not?
It had to be.
Is that like asking a woman's age and height and weight and shit?
I don't know. You gotta ask
Is
the
that
expert.
is that he said that?
We just don't deal with foolishness, so.
You gonna let him really call you an expert on gay matters? Black men, gay matters?
Lord have mercy, it's going to be that kind of party, so. Hold on one moment.
I just wanted to know
Let
about
me
your.
rub
my sister
Let
gay.
me
I
rub
just
my
want-
African down.
Hold on, my
and
sister
get
gay.
ready. Whatever, it don't work like that. I have a friend that's black. My best friend is black. That's what
No,
that's what you
like,
just did.
That's like I got family that went to Kentucky.
I thought we was all friends.
Mm-hmm, indeed.
Yeah, hey, are you want to know something funny? When I used to work at CERT, I was a bodyguard, and it was this transsexual woman that had got out the car. There's a few of them that got out, and they had walked past. This is how gullible my goof ass was back in the day. She walked past me. She was like, "Oh, you look like one of my friends." Here go my response. "Oh, for real? Like, oh, really? From where?" She's like, I don't know. I was like, oh, you on the Facebook? Like, I'm not even in Facebook groups. Like, it's not even clicking. And she's talking about a friend. But I'm thinking, like, we really know each other, like, you know what I'm saying? And off rip, I didn't know she was a trans woman. Mm-hmm. I didn't know until, like, she started coming out.
She
and
gave
it was
you her ID.
Well, I did definitely check IDs. You're right about that. But I just didn't know till later on. Because some of the jobs are getting better and better and better.
Indeed.
You worked there when there was a lot of botch jobs. Calm down. When it was cement booties and...
Oh, y'all saw
it's
wrong.
definitely a combination of both. You definitely saw terrible jobs. You know, this is when a lot of trans women, you know, were still looking like track stars, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time looking like Sydney Star. You know what I'm saying? So it was a combination. It was just getting better and better. So it was just, and dudes that would be in the club didn't know.
Sydney Star is what? The Chinky? The one that was...
Yeah, that lied on Chinky. Yeah. She lied twice.
No, what happened?
She lied the second time about Eddie Winslow.
That was a lie? That didn't really happen?
She said it, she made it seem like he like they had an ongoing relationship.
So it don't happen once.
Well, he said it just was for that acting scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here you go, Jay. So hold on, what you think?
James got the
What
tea
you
on
think?
it.
Because
He poured
Winslow,
up a drink for the
don't
director.
Winslow got like a wife or something?
And that means what?
He used to be. I
don't think he meant- but
he used to be with what, Superhead?
No, that was back in the day. He been divorced, but
Darius McCrary used to hang out with Rick James when he was little, so
Rick
let
James,
that be the
that's
case.
true.
Exactly.
that's true.
So
Hey,
you just
he was
don't
his
know.
mentor. That's true.
That was
I don't
his
mean
mentor.
Macaulay
That's true.
Culkin used to
Really?
hang out with Michael Jackson when he was
Who
little.
did?
This guy.
Macaulay Culkin.
And where is he today?
Ghost.
I'm just saying, if your uncle freaky and you hang out with your uncle all the time, you might be freaky.
Hold on.
I'm just saying these are learned
Hold on.
traits.
I saying from experience, what we talking about?
Nah, because my uncles were deacons in the church and all that stuff.
What
So-
that mean?
Man, I'm telling
It means
you,
a lot.
I'm telling you,
We know what happened with the deacon.
Hey, facts. You know
Well,
how
some people
freaky
do
the
like to
deacons be.
sneak with the deacon.
Oh, okay. Some people.
I could
You-
sneak. I could do some sneaking with
take-
some of the deacons in my church, but
It
that's a whole nother
It
conversation.
takes two to tango. You know
It
that,
do.
right?
It do. It do.
All
But
right.
there's always usually somebody that's a little more mature, more responsible, more accountable. And my point
Yeah, that's
is,
the wife at home. Guy.
my point is that we are talking about Derek, who was mentored by Rick James.
Rick James, he was.
And Rick James did a lot of stuff, and we won't even know all the
Questionable
stuff.
stuff, that's
That he
true.
didn't even finish his book.
Damn,
He died
you're
right as he was writing his book,
You're
so
right
we
about that.
still won't know everything.
You think they're gonna release like a bio movie on him?
They should, but
That-
they'll
that
have
would
to.
be wild.
I mean, get from other people, but yeah, I would
Yeah.
look at that. But
Yeah.
I remember this is Rick James that had that girl tied up in that house, and y'all remember that somebody
Yeah.
he said did him wrong or something like that, and him and another girl had her tied
Then
up
he went to
in like a
jail
little
for,
S&M.
kidnapping.
For real?
Yeah,
This is back in the 90s.
He went to jail for kidnapping.
Oh,
Mhm.
he did?
Yeah.
Some girl that basically did them wrong, and him and another girl kidnapped her, tied her up, and had her in chains and all that kind of stuff. I believe doing all kinds of S&M stuff, and I mean, this is one that changed people's
Yo.
name. He discovered Tina Marie. That wasn't her
yeah,
real
he did
name.
discover- That wasn't her real name?
No, her real name ain't Tina. Just like Tina, Tina Turner's real name ain't Tina.
I did not know that. And I didn't know he discovered Tina Marie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's crazy. But Rick James.
Yet I am the oldest person in here.
By far.
You said what?
By far.
By far, I am.
You did in the 7.
Again,
And it's-
respect the Commonwealth.
Hold on, what you mean?
It's basically what we call our state because we are a daughter of Virginia, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and we have like English laws and stuff that are a little bit different than state
Oh,
laws.
really?
And
know that.
yeah, it's real. Basically, when the states were coming up, they gave you a choice. You could call yourself a state or a Commonwealth, and we chose Commonwealth because we came out of Virginia. So you only have like 5 states that have that: Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Commonwealth of Virginia, Commonwealth of Kentucky, and also the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico's a Commonwealth?
Yep.
So hold on, and James is also a historian. Like he's our street historian. Like he knows about he ain't certified, but
He know about a lot. He one of them niggas that know about a lot of shit for
I
no
do.
reason. It don't have to be connected.
a lot of history, and he know all about the pop culture, everything that happens in pop culture.
Now that's enough I need
Because we
to.
my show on my page about the reality shows. And
Oh,
James,
yeah, you a
I be
thot
like,
for that.
hey, them motherfuckers good, bro.
They are good. You done missed out, but you still capping for the wrong people.
Man, no. Here's why I get.
No,
Here's why I got beef with James. I've been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville. It's good.
It's good.
Thank you,
It's
bro.
good.
It's
You don't
good,
like
bro.
it?
I'm not a
He don't even
reality-
have. Just got his TV fixed.
Oh well.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah,
It
he
was
don't,
broke for a month.
Mark don't do nothing but watch but dream about traveling and talk to 80 girls a month. That's all this motherfucker do all day.
Hey, new
every
show
day.
coming soon, baby. New series.
Mark, you need me to hook you up a TV, dude.
Oh yeah. I got a new series about to pop off.
But hold on, I want to get back to I be getting mad because black men already get a bad rap on TV, and I feel a lot of black men aren't really understood in their relationships and marriages, and so I feel like the emotional component of a black man is so undervalued that when I see it displayed on TV, I feel some type of way because I'm sitting here trying to help black men be more vulnerable, be the more premier versions of themselves. And here we go with
that ain't what they want to see.
nah, but I'm just saying it's like it always get when I made that post about Martell about how his wife is that there has to be somebody that gotta keep black women accountable as well. There has to be some voices out there that be like, aside from I get it. There, Kevin Samuels doing a great job. There's a lot of other people out there who's coming up in the manosphere, but I just feel like it's like we always the villain, and it's like the reaction to. There's never no causation to our reactions. But if we deal with a black woman or any white woman, but especially a black woman in reality TV, the causation is always the focus point, never their reaction. And then on the flip side, it's always the result of our actions, but never the causation. They forget that women push these men to the edge too. They talk about cheating and infidelity so much, but they don't also talk about the things that can help encourage a sphere of infidelity within your relationship, a realm of infidelity to be introduced into your relationship.
Yeah, that's all nice and good, but that's not the case here. In that show, if you're looking at it, and I've been looking at it for a minute.
All right, you are up a bit more season.
Yeah, you on season 1.
Yeah. Almost episode 12.
And I'm not saying I know everything because with reality television, you only get a snapshot. You only get what they want you to see and everything.
That's true.
And we don't know the behind the scenes conversations and stuff. But like I was saying to you, even when you do wrong, there's a way to do it. If you're going to cheat on your wife, number one, your side piece don't need to be calling up your wife. She don't even need to have that number.
You should have put her in check. I do agree with her.
And that's basically what was the final straw.
Yeah.
She was like, now, and then on top of that, if you're gonna cheat, you don't have an outside baby.
That's a big fact. Yeah.
So it's like
We ain't back in the older days.
No.
Well, but hold on. But there's a big gap before that happened though. The big gap was, remember, he was trying to make things work, going to counseling, going to therapy, trying to change. But she was hitting him every time he tried to make a comeback.
When you piss off a woman, you're gonna have to eat a lot of crow before she's ready to do that.
But
So you can't just
bro.
say I'm sorry and everything goes back. You're gonna have to eat some crow.
But I feel that too. But at the same time, I feel like as a woman in a relationship, you should also be given a man. If you're gonna stay there, you should be working your way on getting things restored as well. You can't.
She went to the counseling. She gave the man 4 children. She was pregnant. She was
sound like her. That's what she was pregnant
because she's right.
No, but
look, when the women are wrong, I call them out.
No, the hell
yes,
you
I do.
That's why I be getting so
yes, I do.
James.
When they wrong, I call them out too.
Man,
but this ain't the case.
James, every time he tried to say, look, he tried to say, hey, babe, you look so good today. I want us to work out. When he was on his hospital bed, she gonna bring up the fact that she wants space. Why this motherfucker gonna hop on the hospital bed?
Dude, they were on their way to being separated right then and
there.
Yeah,
but bro,
so if she wasn't that good, then she wouldn't even came in the operation because they was on the outs already.
That's how much.
So you mad at her for even coming there? She went there for the father of her children.
But she didn't show. It's just like the therapist said. The therapist man said, you can be present, you can be in a relationship or in the home or with your wife and not present.
I'll be present later on after I get over being mad at your ass.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if I feel like this, if a person gonna cheat, it is wrong. But if you're gonna take a person back, that means that you both are gonna put effort to try to repair this relationship.
The fact that I'm still in the house, that's effort.
Hell no.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Hell, got pride. She ain't going nowhere. She's like, nigga, I built this and bought this house.
And then she basically said, you know what, I'm gone. So keep on watching because she eventually does move out and get her own McMansion.
Okay. Well, she is a boss chick. I do respect that about her. She is a boss chick.
Look, like I tell people, game recognize game. Come on.
Man, all right.
Game recognize game.
So, all right, going back to, I just be going at it on my post, bro. And James, he types long dialogue.
And you do too.
Nah, here's go.
You will type a long ass post. James will come through with the history of Commonwealth 1773.
Oh, for real. You know what, James? Fuck this shit, bro. You got it, bro. I just be like, James, you got it, bro. Because I'm like this. If you got a good point, I'm going to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, you know what? You're right. You got it. But when I just get triggered when I feel that black men are continually being marginalized and then we're not given the chance to show our humanity.
We do it to ourselves though.
Again, somebody put us there. Somebody gave us that stereotype that black men are sadly falling into.
Well, we don't have to live up to it.
I mean, come on, though.
We don't have to live up
What
to
is that?
it.
What is that? In when the police set you up for something, what's that called?
Entrapment?
Yeah, this is entrapment.
Ain't no way to trap your penis.
It is entrapment.
You decide when and where you stick your penis.
But that's another.
You
thing.
decide where and where.
But that's
And
the
like
thing.
I even
Black men
said,
get a bad stereotype about being cheaters. Women are surveyed to, their wives are surveyed to cheat just as much as their husbands.
well, at least they smart about not to get caught.
Now that's the fucked up.
Don't get caught.
See what I'm saying?
Don't get caught. Don't get caught.
Because listen, if I'm smashing your wife, of course I'm not gonna tell nobody because I want to keep smashing.
Men are.
But a chick-
men
a
are-
The
chick is
woman ain't
different.
gonna tell.
You crazy? That woman ain't she public as hell? His
Who?
side chick?
Which one?
Martell's side chick?
Yeah, because she ain't
Okay.
got nothing to lose. That's rule 102 in cheating. Do
Man.
not fuck with someone that
In the
does not
States.
have as much to lose as you.
in the States.
Right.
That's it.
You talking about?
That's
Man,
it.
come on, James.
No, I'm serious. I mean,
I just feel
we usually don't. Usually, because of our economics, we don't cheat like wealthy men cheat. A wealthy man cheats. He'll have a mistress and all this stuff. Have her in an apartment on the side of the city. That ain't
Like
his-
Dr. Dre.
Thank you.
Facts. That's true.
So
They
you
say
a little
cheating ain't
hunt,
for the broke.
huh?
They say cheating ain't for broke folks.
Well, having a mistress ain't for broke folk.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But I mean, I'm just a pragmatist. That's all I say. I'm a pragmatist.
I'm like that
and,
too.
And
Me
even
too.
and even Melanie on the show said that. She said, if you want to go and have other women, then you just need a woman that's going to go along for that. I'm not the one.
Man,
Because
they saying goofy stuff like that.
Facts.
It ain't a lot of ones.
Facts.
They are.
Every
they
woman that
exist.
says she's not the one always end up being the one. Because they end up, like, it took Melody a long time to leave.
Because she did, like you just said,
Thank
she tried
you.
to work on her marriage.
So don't say I'm not
She
the one.
tried to work
You
on
either-
her marriage.
And
No,
which
she
I
didn't.
think is right.
She
Working
did.
on your marriage is different than trying not to be the person that make you fail.
No, working on your marriage is 1 child, 2 child,
Right.
3 child,
It's not working on your
4
marriage.
child. Yes, it is.
Popping out kids?
Yeah. Because
Nah, hell nah.
you're giving him the privilege to use your body to create children.
No,
I know some women you cheat
are right,
one
though.
time, that's it.
Yeah, that's
right,
true.
but the ability to keep making you working on your
Yeah,
marriage.
Yes,
don't
it
mean
does.
that.
Really?
Hell nah. Just because you let me hit? No, hell no.
Women are more emotional with their bodies than we are.
Right.
No,
so
that's
you
You
also
can-
less-
No,
So-
I disagree with
Yeah,
that.
because
We are
you
just-
will hate a girl and will still fuck her.
I
You'll be pissed as hell.
I won't.
Makes
No
me
more.
sick.
No,
Let me get.
I really. That's the problem in my relationship. Is like whenever I feel like I'm not respected, or I'm not being upheld as the man. My dick don't work.
I don't believe you.
That's a
But I
fact.
asked my.
I might believe this one over here, but you know.
Damn, that's
I
what-
believe
you said
him.
they do
I don't
dark-skinned
believe
men.
you.
They
When
just
I
think
tell
we
you,
dick
I thought my dick
swinging.
was broke when I was married.
Facts, bro, because you don't like and especially when you become a man that becomes mentally aware, you start to build a stronger connection with your sexual
organ.
organ.
Zoom in.
Dude, all I know, and I can't reveal the names, but I remember a couple in my family that was going through like separation and divorce, and the husband told the wife, "Look, you can be mad at me all you want, you still gonna have to sex me."
Right.
That's
but-
part of the requirements.
But it's also different levels to these people too. Miko and I, we both intellectuals, so you can't abandon the intellectual part of us and expect for our functioning to be normal.
Yeah.
That's something that we need and we desire as much as femininity.
Well, that's you. But I know a lot of men that be like, I don't care.
But
She
you talking about
get on my
feminine
damn
being-
nerve,
Yeah, that-
but she fine as hell. I'm getting ready to tap it.
Well,
Listen, man, and that's what we're trying to get men out of, because that they fall for that trap to see that I can have sex with a woman and not be emotionally attached to her.
Mm-hmm.
That's false. It takes emotion to get a penis aroused. You have
The emotion of horniness.
But is that or is that not an emotion? You have
That-
to be. There has to be something that is akin to a trigger in you that makes you want to say, I want to sexually engage with.
But
this
my
person.
thing is, it's still basically horniness. We just think a little more primal and basically a little base when it comes to that, in my opinion.
I think that
And
I think we just get a bad rep for that.
No,
But
we do it.
No, man. I think men just want to have. I think women want to have just as much sex as men.
Yeah.
Just women are more penalized for it than men are. I
They
think
are.
we are exactly the same in that department of emotional attachment to sex.
So do we need to start shaming men the same way we do women, and then they'll stop?
That's what social media is for. What the hell you think been happening for the last decade?
These men don't care.
That's why black men been biting and fighting back, because we
They
trying
don't
to get their
care.
ass whooped on
Yeah,
social
you be
media.
saying they be like, yeah, but I still got mine. I still got mine. I don't care.
See, first off, you can't be breaking bro code. You be breaking bro code like a
That ain't breaking bro code. That's just being real. We all know it.
James, you get treated like the woman sometimes. I'm starting to get it.
Wait, hey, look at me. Look at me, everybody.
James,
I'm 6 feet something, 2 something, and he says, do I get treated like the woman? I would like to get treated like the woman sometimes. I would like to get me a damn meal. I can't even get a fucking Happy Meal.
James,
I can't even get a motherfucker about me a damn Happy Meal.
I do want to know, Jay, like, do y'all in your community, do y'all have the same type of melodrama?
It's worse.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's worse.
I wouldn't think that because I see, look at how y'all deal with
worse.
each other. Y'all polite and more delicate. Nah, bro. I see them they are much more like sophisticated, bro. It's like, that's what I see.
You think there's not layers to
bro, any
type of micro community?
Bro, whenever a chick got a gay best friend, she usually go to him for advice.
Yes,
right?
she do.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. They usually the more consciously aware. So I would.
Do you know why women do that though? Because they know we don't want to fuck them. So they can basically get some more pure answer, so to speak. She ain't necessarily going to go to her heterosexual best friend that might be straight male because he'll be like, oh, wow, that's an opening. Something ain't going. And the man think I might be able to slip in. Yeah. So they come to us because they let my hair down. I can dress all provocative and stuff like that. And I get the best of both worlds. Like even with my female friends, they go out with me, and I get all the work of a boyfriend, none of the privileges.
Damn,
none.
Are you upset about that?
Hell yeah.
You trying to hold on?
I might want just like to be offered at least. Can I at least be offered?
You just want to feel that she attracted to you.
Look.
So you want to be desired.
Are you? How do you identify?
I identify as gay with some bisexual tendencies.
Okay.
Let's talk
tendencies.
I didn't know. So you a virgin.
Tendencies. I haven't had a girl since I was like 11. I was told that don't count.
Oh, damn.
So
nigga, you shouldn't have started that early. That's that Kentucky
right.
shit.
That's that Commonwealth shit.
No, that ain't Kentucky stuff. It would have been 5.
Hey, what family was it?
Next question.
No, for real. So this is a real question. So oftentimes I do hear women say they don't want to deal. You know, women got the double-edged sword. Like I'm not gonna judge you for who you are, but I just would. So how often do you hear that?
I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. I wouldn't be with a gay man. I just wouldn't. I'm like, really? Why not? Yeah. And how you know you not already?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
But the thing is, that's woman's ego. Like men have ego, women have an ego.
Women have fragile egos too.
They do. But you want to know what that ego mostly is? They do not want anyone to know that a gay man hit it. And I'm like, I don't understand that.
Really?
Yes. Like I was telling one of my girlfriends about that, and she was like, I just can't compete. I'm like, compete? What do you mean compete? Yeah. She said, if I'm with a dude and he messed with another dude, I don't have a penis. I can't give that to him. I said, strap on, baby. Nah. She like, if he's messed with another woman, I know I can compete. I said, apparently you can't because he still cheated on you.
Well, so my thing is,
when
women say certain things, I say, like if they be like, I wouldn't be with a bisexual man or whatever because he might be with a man. I'm like, he might cheat.
Right. That's what they always say. But I'm like, if he cheats with a woman, then what?
He gonna cheat on you.
That's what I say.
A cheater is a cheater, regardless of who and what he cheat with.
I asked a friend what it is, and he told me it's the dynamics of femininity versus masculinity.
Okay.
Because, I feel like it's a double standard. Like, most men I know would not have a problem being for a bisexual woman.
Oh, facts.
Big facts. Yeah. They were like, oh, hell yeah. Especially if she lets me participate.
Facts. Big facts.
But most women...
Yeah, I think you're about right about that. I had my first threesome recently, and it is kind of...
Keep trying to practice it. You'll get it right.
Man, no, you might be right.
Keep practicing. With the same people?
Nope.
Oh, well, I don't know what's up with you.
That sound like a you problem.
Yeah, that sounds like a you problem.
If you ask most men, that shit is exhausting.
It can be, but that's why you gotta go to the gym, get your ginseng,
get that belly down.
Get that belly down.
Why the fuck we acting like he the expert on this shit?
Because
James know a lot of shit.
I know a lot of stuff, and I look at a lot of stuff, and I have a lot of conversations.
James just be watching everything.
I do.
I feel like James is like the watchman of the community.
That's you, nigga. I always try to figure out why you have more time than anybody else to consume.
Because he's a cloud engineer. That's why.
Hey, you're 6 figure. Hey, you talking about?
That's how you do it.
March makes 6 figures too, though. He'll cloud.
And they ain't got no TV.
Recruiter.
I got a TV, bro. I got a TV.
But they got, huh?
I got
Ain't
a
bought
TV.
that hair.
And they bought no
rejuvenation
one
yet?
to mount it. Haven't got anyone to mount it.
You said, all right, so
His wife took everything. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Can we go back?
Oh my bad. Oh, you want to go back?
You drank more than you drank.
Well,
This is the most I've actually drunk. On
I
the
was
podcast.
saying it's a double standard
Well, I'm gonna say it, though.
because like I was talking to a friend, I don't get it. I'm like, most heterosexual men would be good with a bisexual relationship with a woman, 2 women.
You think so?
But most women don't want that. And I asked why. And he says because the way in our society we view sexuality. He says that for a man to mess with another man, that detracts from his masculinity in the eyes of a woman.
Facts. Big facts.
But
That's a fact.
for a woman to mess with another woman, that does not
It's
detract her
just as
femininity. It makes her maybe even more feminine.
And I be
That
asking
is
women like
interesting.
how
That's
they
how
were
he
talking
explained
about
it.
Dwight Howard. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The rumors about that.
Yeah.
And one of the things they said was like a 6'11" bottom.
Well, you would be surprised
Mark,
who
you getting
and what
canceled.
likes
They
what.
gonna cancel your ass, bro. That's gonna be the name of the episode. Are we getting canceled?
Surprised what people like.
And
That's
so
all I say.
when I had a talk with a woman about it, she was like I'm about a man being the bottom, and I was like, all right, well, what if he on the other end? And she still couldn't conceptualize it, and I was like, so it just don't matter. Don't say it like there's some. Don't say it like there is a confounds around it.
Yeah.
It is what it is to you, and there's no logical justification. It's just an emotional reaction to whatever it is. And it's seen as women are more accepting of homosexuality, but there's still a line in regards to how far that goes.
Yeah. You know what's always interesting to me?
We're their pets. I'll put it like that.
Who?
Gay men. Gay
Say
men.
say that again.
We're their
This
pets.
This is them holding women.
Women's pets.
That is interesting,
bro.
So let
And
me
vice
ask you-
versa, though.
Let
But
me ask
vice
you this,
versa,
'cause I
Are
too.
they pets? You
They are pets. Vice
So you
versa.
say you got straight friends?
I'm saying that this is how some gay men, not me,
Yeah.
but some gay men love to have girls around them, especially beautiful ones. There's
Yeah.
a thing in the gay community which I think you call it. It's not. What's it called? It's called diva worship.
Diva worship.
Diva worship. Have you noticed how many gay men are all into Beyonce?
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
back in my day? How many were into Janet Jackson?
Yeah.
And then a generation before me, how many are into Patti LaBelle?
Okay.
They have what I call a patron diva.
What's that mean?
It's basically like they just are super fans of these women and the businesses and things that go around them. So like I have one friend that's
Gotcha.
obsessed with Patti LaBelle.
Gotcha.
Has every damn cookbook she's done,
Gotcha.
every video she's
Love
done,
Patty
all that.
pies.
Yes.
So
I have another friend. I have some other friends that are into Beyonce.
Gotcha.
You say something about Beyonce, they ready
Queen
to fucking
That's
fight
how
you.
Miko is.
So they like I do love Beyonce, but it's so they like glorify them in a way where it's almost like not a groupie, but in a way it's like if that's their woman version in this world.
Something like that. I don't know what it is, but then some gay men also do the same thing where they'll get like a little girlfriend or something like that. She may be homely, she may not, and they basically dress her up and stuff like that. And like, ooh, girl, that looks so good on you. You need to get
Gotcha.
this. This would look fabulous on you and
Gotcha.
stuff like that.
Like his little doll or something.
So let me
Exactly.
ask you this. So let's go this way. Oftentimes,
Well, I did want to ask him about do he think because I seen women be like there's dudes who like to be pegged.
Yeah, there are some.
They will be with the
No, a
like
man.
man.
They'll never.
You know, but it's like those women that peg their men. But it's like if you deal with it, I'd be hard. It'd be for me. It's hard to like find like what's the real issue. Because I've heard straight women say, "Oh, I don't want my man to deal with other men because they think gay men want to be like the women." You know,
Maybe, maybe not.
and they feel like the gay men kind of envy the women.
Sometimes not.
I was gonna talk about that a little bit because sometimes you see
Mark like being pegged.
no.
Is that what ended the marriage? If you want to stay married to me, you gonna let me.
Yeah. You gotta let me be a bottom.
That's right.
Go ahead, Cheeks.
Hey, so
Oh shit, we going first.
Oh, shit.
I just want people to see how comfortable, like
taking
gay
this shit
men,
off.
straight men, quasi men, we all can vibe and have fun and camaraderie. You know what I'm
indeed.
saying? They ain't gotta be
Why you
all.
wore a pink beanie?
Huh?
Huh?
What?
What? Pink beanie. He
First
said,
off, this is
puce.
Look, he about to.
See, that's why you need a gay man to tell him what colors it is.
I'm like, baby, this is puce.
Gonna fuck it up. This is piss.
Yeah. She like, you got piss on your head?
That's French.
So, often, like, I heard it was like, and I've looked into this a little also. When you see flamboyant men seeming to create an image for women to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Because
so
like a friend of mine,
you'll see men acting hypersexual, hyper feminine.
Oh yeah, flamboyant.
They're presenting hyper feminine.
Gotcha.
And what you'll also see is women. So I've seen men with their hair laid better than women. Men with you know what I'm saying? And you see
especially
women.
in Atlanta,
Because it used to be, we always loved thick women as black people.
Yeah. Oh, that's another question.
And so what you'll see is we go from loving thick women that were natural to now this whole, now everybody got to be
bodacious.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
they have the exaggeration image of a woman.
So sometimes
women
sometimes the narrative is, especially with black women too, because black women were the example.
Yeah.
You got black women emulating men who are emulating black women to an exaggerated level. So can you speak to that?
well, it's like a friend of mine told me years ago, and I never thought of it this way. He says women like to read fashion magazines and stuff, and that's where a lot of them get their ideas.
Yeah.
But most fashion magazines are ran and owned by men.
Strong J.
Damn.
And a lot of those men are probably not heterosexual.
Damn.
So where are they getting their ideas from?
Damn.
Yeah, mind blow. So
I didn't even think about that.
that's the
real,
thing.
Though.
It's like
that's real. Just like isn't any of the gay dudes that run the same room and TMZ and shit?
I don't know. I'm just saying that we say the women this and this, but we have to remember it's still a man's world. Most industries and everything around this world are ran by men.
Because they forget that shit on social media. They think because they see a few broke ass bum ass dudes that they think that women are out here killing men across the board. I'm like, no. Like more women are in the workforce, true. But when you talk about the wealth gap between men and women, it's not even close. Oh, not even close.
It's a little inverted in our community. Right. That's why we think of it. In the black community, it's inverted.
Why do it seem like gay
But that's
people
a black
got more
American
money?
community. Because in Africa, you go over there, the wage gap between African women and African men, night and day. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Why do it seem like gay people got more money than us?
I know.
When I was little, I thought we had.
Bro.
Well, basically because
dude.
I don't have a bunch of babies all over the place.
Yeah, but neither do Miko. And he, you know what I'm saying?
Miko got money.
I'm saying Miko.
You got money. Well,
right.
I got one baby.
You got one baby. You got half of your money. So yeah. No, but seriously, like I always used to think, oh, gay men are so smart. That's why they make money. It's like, no, we don't have children. Like now.
But you don't come off as like flossy and flashy and stuff like that.
No, my mother was talking about that. Said I might as well be straight. I didn't get none of the good gay traits. She said you just as nasty and funky and uncoordinated as any straight man.
That's because you buy. That's why.
Maybe.
You got to buy 10.
You got to get the whole gay package.
I guess so.
Yeah,
my mom was like, you can't dance, you can't clean, you can't dress.
I'm just letting you know that.
She like want to be in gay. She like, at least if you had a woman, you would have her to help you with those things. You would have some woman up here cleaning and dressing you.
All right, you from what? Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you from Louisville, conservative for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you moved. You
love talking about your family. You're a prideful motherfucker about your whole family. Bro.
So can you talk about how it is to? Because did you come out in Louisville?
No, this is the thing. I moved here when I was 9. So I've lived here most of my life.
You was in there in Freaknik.
But I was only like 14, and my mother was strict. Wouldn't let me go.
In the backseat of Uncle Carl.
I couldn't go. Shoot. By the time I got enough to go Freaknik, it was on this last leg.
You were still around when BMF was out though.
Oh yeah, but that was on their way out too. So, but no, seriously, Freaknik had like its height around 1994. I was 14.
Damn, 94?
That was its height.
Okay.
That was its height.
Because I remember last year was 97, right? 96.
It was starting to go down because that's when they was putting all the restrictions on. But my sister is 7 years older than me, and I just remember my mother having to talk with her, like if you go out, you put your drink down, you don't have a drink. You don't go back.
Good.
Don't separate from the girls.
Good.
Do not go in a hotel with no man.
None of us back then.
Huh?
Damn.
My mother has always been very pragmatic with us, and that's one thing I appreciate.
Yeah.
Some people are like, why your mother like that? I said, 'cause my mother's always been a G. She just kept it real. My mother didn't sugarcoat things with us. She like, if you do this, this is the consequence that will happen.
How did she grow up? Like, what was your mom's back? Because a lot of your, your concepts around things are formulated from a lot of your mom's experience, and you just reference your mom a lot, which a lot of gay men do. But I'm just playing. But what like
I am a mama's boy,
but that
so
does
that's all
make
right.
me interested in, because your mom is like the OG, and I'm just curious of what made her, because she would sound like she was ahead of her time.
My mother grew up in the 70s.
Okay.
When everything was going crazy. If you talk to people who grew up in the 70s, I asked my best friend, because my best friend is even 10 years older than me. And he says, if you ask anybody about the 70s, what would they say? And I asked him, what was going on in the 70s? He said, none but drugs and fucking. That's all they were doing.
Real?
They were fucking. I asked one of my cousins, who's also older than me, because I'm like, my mom is the baby of 7, and I'm her baby. So all of my cousins are like between 14 to 20 years older than me.
And you old.
Exactly. So now they're nearing their 60s and 50s, my cousins, first cousins.
Yeah.
So, for example, like I was asking one of my cousins about the 70s and the 80s and stuff. And I'm like, man, wasn't you worried about STDs and stuff like that? He said, nah, man, it was 80, 70. The worst thing you could get was the clap. You go to the doctor, get a shot, and you be right back out there with the best of them just tearing it up. And I said, well, what about the babies? I said, won't y'all worry about babies? He said, nah, man, we were the love generation of love. That was just another person come along to love.
Oh,
I talked to another friend.
And a nigga would leave and go to the next town.
He said, no, that was just someone to drop off on grandmother.
Oh,
Because I had the last of the real grandmothers.
Okay. Hold on, what that mean? My grandma was real? What are you talking about?
In the sense that when I came out, my grandmother was like in her 50s. My grandmother would keep me every other weekend. And my mother's older sisters would keep.
Mine too. You're right.
My mother's sisters are like 13 years older than her. So I had like all these damn grandmother figures. So if my mother needed a break.
Real grandma, guys.
If my mother needed a break, Mama, can you keep them? Betty, can you keep them? Barbara, can you keep them? Mother-in-law, can you keep them? Other grandmother, can you keep them? I just had all these different grandmother figures, so that's why I said I'm the last. Now in this generation, these grandmothers are in the clubs with their daughters.
I'm at the age where I can mess with the mama and the daughter.
See,
mama, daughter, and grandma.
But I think that's what's messed up with our community now, though. We don't have that same
structure
that we used to.
So let's talk about that, because that's important too. And here's why I want to bring this up, because the accountant on Housewives of Huntsville mentioned this to Melody and Martell. He said that, I think y'all are a power couple and y'all would be good for the community.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I want y'all to start thinking about the community.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know a lot of women watch that, and particularly black women watch that, and was like, oh no, that is socially inappropriate to say. And what about you? I think about yourself, girl. But that made me, as a traditional man and as a man that's just involved with the community, to think. And I told me and Mark had this discussion real late at night one time, and I was trying to get him to understand, like, we come from a background of men where they put community over self. And that created and established our stability for generations. And it wasn't until recently, you can say the late 70s or early 80s, where we became a me culture instead of a we culture.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, when that accountant made that statement, being in Huntsville, Alabama, that to me, I love that statement, because I was like, yeah, you have to think about what's best for the community, not more so just what's best for yourself. It's not like you've been abused.
Yeah.
It's like, but so that when I say that, it's like marriage isn't an end all be all solution on its own, but it's the founding block of a healthy civilization, a healthy community. It has to be a staple in the community. Every community that lacks marriage is terrible.
Yeah.
They're in deep poverty. They have lowest education, highest crime rate, X, Y, Z.
Yes.
And that's one of the problems I get with on social media, and especially in reality TV realm, is they push this agenda that it's supposed to be about you being happy. Where if we all focus on us being happy, none of us would do what's responsible, what's best for others. So that's my whole take. What you think about that?
I think happiness is a portion of it, and I don't think anyone should be miserable. If you're miserable, the marriage is trash. You don't need to be in there. But I think a lot of times people mix up being unhappy with being miserable. And just going by my family, I come from a long line of
Miserable people?
No, not miserable. No, I mean, I have people that have been married long term in my family, and some people that couldn't be married longer than maybe 5 years. But like, I have an aunt and uncle back home in Kentucky that I think just celebrated their 40th anniversary. I have an auntie and uncle here. They're probably near their 40th anniversary. I have an auntie over in Alabama, and she was married to her husband 40 years before he died. I had another aunt here. Her husband just died like maybe 5 years ago and such. So I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. But at the same point, it's just a different era, and people don't understand. Even like with some of my aunts that were married like 40-some years ago, like I have one aunt, I mean, we don't talk about it, but women weren't even allowed to get credit cards, bank accounts, apartments in their names until like the 70s. And some of my aunts were married in the 60s. And you needed two incomes and stuff. It was just the culture and stuff. And it's changed. We have more options now. And there's not as much of a stigma to being divorced.
True.
So
or being having children out of wedlock. Remember that too. Time? Having kids out of wedlock.
We also in the social culture. We're in a culture where these ideas that haven't been tested, that don't have longevity behind it, they are all concepts that we feed into. And the problem with us as African Americans feeding into it is that we never had a foundation established before we started buying into it. We never had the establishment of us, or I'm not going to say never, but our establishment didn't have longevity attached to it in America, to where we had a long period of time where we could be happily married, or not even happily married in financial stability to bring our community up.
I think all this came from liberal white women.
Nah, it's not them. But racism does play a part in it. I was looking at a thing that was talking about racism, why black people are where we are. We as black men are targeted. No one wants to talk about, but we're targeted. I mean, we all know the drug wars are really just a war on black people. They targeted us. They locked us up for little stupid stuff. And when you locked up, you basically are ruined. You can't do anything. I was talking to a friend that basically he had to rescue one of his sons. Basically, his son went to prison for doing something stupid. And they had a program while he was in prison. They said, we'll teach you to be a barber or HVAC or a plumber. The Republicans hate that. They basically gotten rid of those programs. But anyway, he was one of the last people that got this program. So he asked my friend, his father, well, what should I do? He said, son, every time I've had to call a plumber, I've had to pull out at least $100 to $200 out of my pocket just for a visit. Go be a plumber.
Facts.
That's one of the few things they allow you to do.
Right.
Because other things than that, he basically went out, did everything, had support system, and this dude makes way more money than I do. He's making well more than 6 figures.
You just don't feel like dealing with shit.
No, I'm just saying that was how he got into it. And what happens is, what I was looking at the documentary, it said the reason less marriages are happening is because we're not attractive like we used to be. Economically, a woman doesn't want to marry a buster.
That's a fact.
And stuff. It's like I can do bad by myself. So the way to fix our community is to fix our men.
Facts.
You educate us, get us in higher income and things of that nature, then we'll become more attractive. We can help the women. We have a problem now because about 70% of our children are born out of wedlock. And if a child is born out of wedlock, he's more likely to have childhood poverty. And if you have more childhood poverty, you're less likely to matriculate through school and things like that. So you fix the men, you almost automatically fix everything else. Because most of the women have their stuff together.
But the other part...
Most.
But let's talk about
hell
this
no,
too.
they don't.
He gets mad when I do that.
Yeah, see, because he be... I be with him all the way to the goddamn...
That having your shit together is bullshit, even if they do have higher rates of education.
Right.
Because those educational degrees don't lead to higher paying jobs.
Facts.
A lot of times they do, or at least they do in my family.
Higher than call center, but call centers are actually the ones that they have most jobs with.
And social jobs. They get all these social...
What about when you start talking about men who do have their shit together and women still find ways not to want them? They still find ways not to desire them because they just don't have healthy imagery of...
It's not even that. I think at that point, then a lot of us are arrogant. Like, okay, No, for real. Okay, let me give you an
That
example.
nigga don't let up on fall through it.
Let me give you.
And
Let
this
me
why
give
we
you.
be beefing on my
But
phone
let
all
me
the
give
time.
you an example. You know, I'm a church boy.
Yeah.
So at my church for several years, I worked with the singles committee.
Put Miko on.
I've worked with the singles committee, right? When I worked with the singles meeting and stuff like that, having things for singles ministry and stuff like that, the women showed up. Now at my church is pretty not, it isn't like a super rich church, but we're middle class. So when I'm talking about the women showing up, I'm talking about women that are speech pathologists, physical therapists,
Social workers?
nurses, lawyers and stuff like that. High income earners. That's what I have coming to my church.
Okay.
Some of these women are like in their 40s.
50. I'm just about to say that. Pushing
Some
50.
of them going towards 50s.
Don't
And it's
wanna
like,
have
what
no
happened with
babies.
the
But that don't
They
equal-
would. They
that-
just haven't found the right man.
That
But
don't equal. Go ahead. Sorry.
so this is the issue I have.
All right, what's that?
When I invite my brothers, hey man, are you gonna come to the potluck? There's gonna be any fine women there.
Exactly.
That's
Now,
first
you know
time
how
like
you
gonna
gotta
be any
lure us
fine
in.
women.
You know how you gotta lure us in. You
I'm
can't just tell us.
like, there's gonna be some really Christ centric, loving women.
No.
And I didn't ask you that. Are they gonna be fine?
Exactly.
Are they gonna
What
be
they
fine?
gonna look like?
I said, well, there are gonna be some attractive women. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say that. Are they fine? They have to be the dime piece.
No, see,
They
that's
have
the
to be
exaggeration. That's
for the
what
men that I deal with. They have to be the dime piece.
Bro, just
I'm
men
telling
just-
you what
men
I
just-
seen.
Men just want to, especially men of means. You just want you just want to attract.
Where you bring those people to my singles meeting because I'm telling you what has happened.
I will. I show.
I'm telling you what has happened.
And I'm gonna go to
So,
your singles
and some of
meeting,
these
here's what
men,
I'ma
and some
find.
of these men are very eligible too. I'm talking about computer programmers, physical therapists. What else? I had another one, pharmacists and stuff like that. So I'm like, dude, what the issue is? But it's an imbalance. It's like
My pharmacist just cut me off.
they ain't that kind of pharmacist. But what I'm trying to say is that when I have this meeting, the women come dressed to the nine because they know what's coming there, right?
Yeah.
The men come in, might be a little okay. It's like
Sweats.
that. Yeah. Be like, and wait, it'll be like 30 women
You gotta
professionals.
talking to the mic, Jay.
It'll be like 30 women professionals, and then I'll get like 6 men, 4 professionals, 2 still struggling trying to make it.
Shit, I got
So what happens is he's a man in a candy store. How can he decide?
Hold on. But if all of these candies is black licorice, you
They
know what
not
I'm
black liquor. I just told you what
No,
they
I'm not
are.
saying- listen. Professionally, women got it. Let's be honest.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to
But
say.
I be seeing when we start talking about things,
We gotta break this shit down because
we got women who are I seen it's too many women that
It's
don't
too-
got kids. They don't got they don't got kids. They invested their whole life into their profession.
Yeah.
So yeah, they can have a high profession.
Facts.
But what about the quality in terms of companionship?
Facts.
Because you'll listen to the pastor.
Facts.
You'll listen to the pastor, not read your Bible. You'll listen to the pastor and invest all of your faith into that pastor. But what about the man that's trying to lead you?
facts.
And so now you
got so
gotta
many women who
fight
don't.
through.
You got so many women who don't know how, or aren't even highly interested in being good partners. They just rather have that look. They got their degree. They got their little foreign Benz, little foreign car outside. They got skyrocket amount of debt. They got terrible fucking spending habits. They spend like NBA players. And then on top of that, when you sit here and try to go out with them and or even have a conversation, everything is all around them. They're not being intrusive enough to ask you questions about you, yourself, your childhood, where you come from, what are your interests, what are your goals. Again, they're not trying to participate as being a partner. It's all on them. It's like in their world, it's like I'm the prize, and I'm the prize only.
That's the society we have, and that's how you
But that's not
heterosexual
good.
people have created
But
it.
that's not.
But that's how y'all
makes for a
done
great-
it.
That makes for a great side chick.
But that's
or
how
a great fun chick, but
but-
don't make for a wife.
But that's how basically heterosexual you guys have mostly created. But seriously, okay, like with my dad, when my dad divorced my mom,
yeah.
I was talking to him, and when I basically came, man, and moved out, he let me stay from there. He like, okay, so I'm gonna give you a little bit of time, but you need to get out because you messing up my game. I'm like, what you talking about? He said, dude, before you moved in here, I had doctors, surgeons, lawyers, teachers coming up here cooking and cleaning for me. I'm like, why they can't come clean for both of us? He said, it don't work like that, man.
Facts.
And I said, but Dad, I said, you just a little mechanic for Martin. Why are they trying to date you? He said, they just want a man, son.
That's a fact.
They just want a man.
That's a fact.
But that's my point.
But hold
Well,
on,
your dad live here?
Hold on. First off,
He's married now.
Bro,
He's married now.
His dad that was back in the 80s.
Wasn't back in the 80s.
man
This was
that?
back in the aughts. This was back in the 2000s.
Bro, your dad was like 40 and 50 back then.
He was older than that.
Okay, that's what I'm talking. That's
And
a
still
different
got
guy.
and still got him a woman.
But that's a different. Women that are 50 and up, they come from a different generation, different time period of interacting with men.
And it's a
Women-
different reconciliation process it's facing you. It's
Women-
a different reconciliation process they in because after a certain time you gotta let go of this idea of kids. You also gotta dismantle your ideas about what you feel like you need.
Yep.
You get to that point where you torn the fuck
Right.
down.
Women around his father's age, they just happy to have a motherfucker that can walk and breathe and eat on his own. You know what I'm saying? But we talking about our generation. We talking about our
Your generation have it too, because I have a girlfriend right now, and she's always telling me, "Why can't I find a man,
What she
James?
look like?
Why can't I find?" I'll show you a picture afterwards.
And then,
I'll show you
not
a
only
picture
that, but
afterwards.
How is she like? People's desires don't match their output.
That's a
so when
fact,
we having these discussions,
we talk
Miko
about this
and I,
all the time.
We talking about people who want great results, but are very average in a lot of other
Very,
things,
bro.
except for work. I want the woman who gonna put all that goddamn energy into that degree, all that energy into that work. Put that same effort. Study about relationships. Study about marriage.
And to
study
me,
men.
80-20, 80-20. You ain't gonna
No.
get it all.
You sound like, listen,
Like-
you know what's so fucking funny? Men are steady, especially accomplishment. We are steady told to lower what we want. Consistently, always told. She ain't gonna be this. Maybe I'm like, well, damn, why the fuck am I busting my ass to become exceptional if I just gotta only my best options are gonna always be average?
They ain't
And then
gonna
on
be
top of that,
average.
and then on top of that-
If you're lowering from 100 down to 80 versus you
I
being
can't even do that.
you being a buster and getting from 50 and lower,
Oh.
so you be the best you
This shit
can
ain't fair.
because you
This shit ain't
still
fair.
the numbers are in your favor.
But Jay, no,
God.
let me tell you, because women play that game too.
Yeah,
they be like,
bro.
oh, you live in Atlanta, it's like 40-1. Cool. It's
To
40-1
smash,
because
yeah, to go.
You don't
go
like to
ahead,
smash?
No, I ain't smashed since October, bro.
What's going
Yeah.
on?
Because I'm not.
He
I've gotten
found the
to
man of his
the.
dreams.
I've gotten to a point where my mind, it's connected. My dick and my mind is connected.
So you
And-
found Jesus?
I mean, listen,
Actually, that's an interesting
found
conversation.
I'm just saying, like I
We got
did.
to.
We did talk about
When my church opens back up,
Well,
you're invited.
I was gonna go to church and try to find me a Christian. I'm even in a Christian group now to try to find a wife of a
gullible
woman.
woman.
Good.
But I'm ready for that next phase in my life. So I'm done fucking around and like you can only smash but so many baddies. Or I didn't have so fun. So I ain't had so sex in that long because I've just been trying to like I don't get turned on no more just by the frivolous fun. I need a woman that's connected, that's trying to get into me, that's interested,
He's selling this
and
for real.
interesting. I'm just telling the truth.
All right.
Nah, he been on a different wave. Like,
He
That's
is
what I'm
now.
saying, bro. Like that.
All right, well,
that-
it's coming in that
because
case.
I'm dark skinned.
But the
Y'all,
other-
everybody
no,
think I'm a
yeah.
goddamn
No,
player
the
because I'm
other
dark
part
skinned.
too is
Well, dark skin is in right now.
the other part too is, man, it's almost like you gotta beg women to invest in you in the way that you care about. Because at least, if nothing else, if a man said today, I'm gonna go from being ain't shit to going to get a quality woman that I want and she want me, a man could do that. If he wanted to, like, I think men are trained to understand at least a portion of the desires of women. Women reduce men to fucking and eating.
That's it, bro.
And so when you start saying,
That's
hey
real.
man,
Well,
men got some
well.
depth to us.
I mean, that is a great starting point. But
That's
I'm
why
just saying.
James be cooking. He just
And it still ain't fucking work. Still ain't got no one coming over.
You gotta lick the gooch.
Still ain't coming over.
But when we start talking about women who can simply conceptualize everything, you can do open heart surgery, but you can't understand men.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And then you got men like me, Miko, and we are not too.
And we ain't the only one. We got bros too who are doing real well, and we had the same conversation.
Men are the leaders, and I'm telling you, you get the right woman and you show
Right,
yourself
right,
eligible
right.
to
You
lead, she's usually going
Man,
to
you got
follow.
women who don't. Men are.
What woman don't think she the right
listen,
woman?
established.
They
men-
all do that. They all think they're the right
established men
one.
Typically want very traditional women.
Yeah, bro, for real.
And these
I was just arguing with him. That's gone. You missed it.
right.
You missed it.
Right.
You was born. You was
now I
born
gotta
20
be
years
very
too
fucked
late.
up,
You was born 20
But
years
look,
too late.
but it's because
damn.
women also don't give a fuck about. We feel like they don't give a fuck about us.
No.
Their desire is to have a man, but they truly don't give a fuck about us because if I'm willing to listen to you, go to therapy, get myself right for you, and then really and truly, a lot of this is for women. You doing all of that for women who slight you, who tell you still not doing enough, you still like it's like nah. Where's the partnership? Where's the balance? Where you got a person like me, all right, she don't cook, cool, I cook.
Yeah, he will.
Like I could.
What, hamburger helper?
No,
Mark
I cook.
I get him. He makes some good ass dip too.
That's where you going.
Mark,
That
your
dip
recipe has 2 steps: shake and bake.
First of all, you gotta update your joke because nobody use shaking.
Okay, I'm
That's
sorry.
like spam.
I'm sorry. Let me give it to you 2000 version. Heat and serve.
There you go.
and unzip.
Heat and
But
serve.
no, like I find myself having. I will tell a woman everything she needs to know.
Right.
I'd be like, look, I'm high on affection. I need some intellectual conversation.
Dang, that shit
I'm
crazy.
going to plan a good date for you. I'm going to be the leader of the household. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. And they still don't get it.
Bro, think of like somebody having all the traditional aspects that you loved about your grandfather on top of all the things that you appreciate about a modern man in one. Mm-hmm. Like that's what a lot of these modern men are presenting to women. But I'm finding what these men are having trouble with is running into quality. And the quality is these men just want something that's comparable in return from performance-wise from these women.
You can get it, but you do have to work on it because you have to teach people how to love you and vice versa.
No, but women are valuing themselves like men. And it's taking a lot of the femininity out.
Yeah.
And
that is true because even like the friend I was talking about, when she says, I don't understand, she says, I have my own job. I have this. I said, and then I tell her, I said, baby, I'm like, that's not what men care about.
They ain't nothing but some shit a bum ass dude
They
care about.
That's what I told her. I said, and she said, well, what they care about? But this is what Miko gonna get mad about me. I'm like, they want to know if you can fuck and if you got good head and if you're gonna be a good mother to their child.
You see how
and the other stuff stuff you say is a bonus.
Boy, you think we such a primate type motherfucker?
For an established man, I just need to
mean,
know
you
that
ain't
you're
saying
Well, her dating pool is still a little bit lower. She's a little bit younger than you guys, maybe around that.
But
so
she dating?
Yeah. So like I told her, I said men don't usually start thinking about that. We don't mature that until we get like 35, maybe 40.
30, I would say 31, maybe.
31. Because I told her, I said just wait. But now she's like, but they all have children. I said, well, that's
true. I'm running into that too. A lot of old women 30 plus don't want to have no more kids.
They don't.
I'm having fun. I done switched my little filters to no kids.
No kid.
They love me.
They love you now?
I think I done fucked up being responsible. That's the thing. That's the part. That's the sad part. Nobody tells you about that shit. They tell you as a kid, don't do X, Y, Z, but they don't tell you the consequences being the only responsible.
Oh, my dad told me.
No, women, Miko put this pressure on himself like women do.
What?
Like, I'm 30, what's wrong? I can't find a good woman. I just want kids. Miko be having baby fever. Miko putting the pressure like he got a biological clock.
Well,
like his womb gonna stop.
Well, he don't want to have no child, no 60. he only gets to play football for one time and then he dies.
And James, Mark don't understand. Me and Mark definitely hope they're whole chasing together. But I did I had my own house while he was still in college. I was whole chasing like a mother. And even when he was married, I was still doing my thizzle. So it's like I gotten to a point, I don't have kids. I did everything in the background I need to do. Now I feel like I'm in a place I'm ready to take on the next phase of life, which for me is building a family. See, he already got a kids and did the whole family thing.
But Miko didn't want to. Miko is just like a woman where he was like, "I'm done hoeing. Let me flip the switch.
Yeah, exactly.
Not let me transition.
That's true. And now you gotta pay for you gotta pay for what you did in the past.
Right.
Spiritually, that is.
That ain't fair, goddamn.
Yes, it is.
All right,
you gotta pay for what you did.
Because we can talk about us all day.
Yeah.
So James, you be posting these posts like a single black woman.
Yes, you do.
I do.
And this is why you don't be taking up for men. Who
the fuck hurt you? Who broke your heart? You know what? That's something I've never
Who
known
hurt me?
James, tell me a goddamn heartbreak story that you. What's your last? Have you ever been in a real serious relationship?
You are.
God damn, boy.
The streets might be painted different colors, James. You
No, I haven't really had a serious relationship. The longest one I think I've had was about a year to 6 months. And I've only had like 2 relationships in my entire life.
So it's you.
It might be. At this point, I'm willing to concede it's me.
What the fuck is you? What is it?
I'm probably just as picky as you are.
Oh, man.
I don't necessarily want what I attract.
What you attract?
I attract feminine men and feminine women.
You want a masculine man?
I want a masculine
James,
man.
you look like a goddamn linebacker.
And that's what everyone tells
me.
me, so they don't want to holler at me.
So
and they like,
what you want to do? Bigger than you?
They want petite men.
The men I'm attracted to tend to want smaller men.
So what would your ideal type of man be?
My ideal type of man would be a black man, preferably dark skinned. I told you dark skin's in right now.
Hey, we popping, you know what I'm saying?
It's all good. We had it for the 80s. I'm gonna let y'all have it for maybe one more decade.
Hey, man,
do not throw away your Elder Barge posters. We coming back.
Y'all gone. We ain't never letting the throne go. Dark skinned men forever.
Not no Elder Barge.
And what are you?
Shoot, I'm the paper bag.
What are you?
Yeah, he said like he was Elder Barge. No.
Oh, y'all about the same. Well, James is lighter than you.
Right, he is. But I'm letting him know that he not that light.
Well, I'm not that light. I'm just saying, though, back when I was growing up in the early 80s, those were the people. It was Prince, Elder Barge,
Pretty Boys,
and the lighter skinned version of Michael Jackson.
The fuck?
The later Michael.
Yeah, the later Michael in the 80s.
Let's not deviate too much, James.
Hold on, so you said dark skin, you said...
I said dark skin, masculine, educated, accomplished, 6 feet.
6 feet?
6 feet even.
Taller man?
No, I just want a massive man. I don't even necessarily want bigger than me.
Okay.
Nice body. What
you
else?
said that 2 times.
I did. It's important. I'm a man.
Like
just because I like something different than what you like, I'm still a man. I still have a man's mindset.
That's fair.
All right, and so like I told people,
you said education.
And able to carry his own, and
so stable.
And that's about it. Like I'll be crude.
Is that hard to ask for?
It is.
All right, hold on. On a scale of 1 to 10, how handsome does he have to be?
Yeah.
8 to 9.
Oh, James, you tripping, bro.
I think I'm an 8 to 9
James
myself.
But that's what I'm saying, bro. Even me, I know, like, I'll wife a chick that's like a good 6.
No, hold on. Miko, what do you think you are?
Me, I'm a 10. Motherfucker, you motherfucker out your damn mind. Who, what?
Are you sure you're not gay? Because that sounded so gay.
Listen, I'm working on dropping about 60 right now. You know, I'm about
this
15
is
right
the secret in Atlanta. I tell people why gay men in Atlanta cannot date. Wow. Because every gay man in Atlanta thinks he is a 10 and he's looking for a 12 or a 13.
Nah, I ain't looking. I'm looking for a 6.
She
just got to be a good ass.
That's you, but I'm talking about gay men. I said gay men.
I don't believe that. He ain't looking for no dick.
He ain't looking for no 6. Let's come up in here.
Now, he said that because their bodies be crazy. Their bodies got to, you know.
No, your body can make you can have no face. You can have a blank face. And
what you think I'm looking for?
You looking for at least an 8.5.
You are. Because all men are. Because all men are.
But that's not true, I don't think.
If it wasn't, you would have already been married.
If you want a 6 that's stacked, she ain't no 6.
She ain't got to be.
You would have already been married.
Something got to give.
You want a 6 face with a 10 body. She 8.5, bro.
Bro, come on, bro. Y'all got to give me something. All right, I'll take this. I'll take a 8 in the face with a with a 6 with a 7 body.
No. What's a 7 body?
A 7 body like a she ain't gotta have no
she built
big
a little
butt.
bit. No, she built a little better than me if she is.
She just gotta have like at least D cup titties.
D cup.
Yeah, D cup titties.
You want to come home with me to Kentucky? Because that's all the women in my family.
I love bitches.
We don't. I don't think we have anything lower than a D.
Show pictures first. Ain't nobody taking no dummy mission.
Okay,
facts.
I'll show you.
I ain't never seen. Now I've seen sexy women come out of Arkansas. I ain't never seen none sexy come out of Kentucky.
Because you ain't been paying attention.
Miko try to act like he modest. His threshold is high as hell.
I don't know why y'all think that. They think that because
I show Miko an average.
As a matter of fact, you want to know something that was really funny? I had to speak with my sister when I got back home in Kentucky because the Miko had Facebook friend her.
I did?
And, yes. And I said, why are you Facebook friends with him? And she said, I don't know. Just so I said, get rid of him now. Now.
Hold on. What?
I made her get rid of you. So there.
What's her Facebook?
Nah, because I'll do it afterwards.
Hey, so
because my sister is gorgeous. My sister is a.
And she said, I sent her a friend request?
Wait, but ain't your sister 14 years older than you?
My sister's 7 years older than me.
Okay.
Hold on. And I sent her a request?
Yeah. I know my sister. She didn't send you one.
Oh no, you'd be highly surprised. With
No, but I know my sister. Now some other woman maybe, but I know my sister.
All right, let's because we getting off.
All right, go ahead. My bad.
All right, so we ain't gonna be here too much longer, but we let's get into some of these meat and potatoes. Pause. So one of the questions I do have is even societally we lump in everybody LGBTQ plus. My sister says she don't really subscribe to all the letters. Mm-hmm. And what people don't often know is there is though it's marketed as a community, there's still subcategories where
it is
and ideologies. Would you want to speak on that? Like
like as far as
like.
Is there a different category?
There's different categories, everything. Even with heterosexual black men, you have your geeks, you have your jocks, you have your professionals, and so like. And the same thing.
That. I'm talking about issues in the community. I had a roommate and he was gay, and he was an old white guy, and he was with an old black guy.
Yeah,
and I was like, we was having an open dialogue, and I was like, what's the bigger issue? Is it the bigger issue that you gay, or is that you dating a black man? And he was like, the bigger issue is that I'm dating a black man. And he was like, it's people within my community that that are still racist.
Yeah.
And then also, it's times where like trans individuals aren't always accepted by gay women or gay men or bisexuals or whatnot. And then. That I'm talking about.
I was a little bit of an activist when I first came out in the late '90s, early 2000s, and
Magic?
Huh?
He said with Magic.
With Magic, yeah, around that time because I remember when Magic came out, but I was still around 14. What was that? 94. But basically, at that time, the community was starting to do more what you call congealment. Because when I came out,
Miko didn't go to college.
I don't know.
Congealment,
I don't know what that means.
just like jail.
Oh, okay.
Congeal,
gotcha.
congeal salad, congeal the salad. So it started to congeal because when I came out, it was like gay and lesbian, and then there was like some big meeting somewhere, and they was having debates if they should allow the trans community to come into the community. And some people, there was meetings over that back around the late 90s, early 2000s.
That's fucked up. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, trans people are not homosexual, and people always get that mixed up. So they have different issues.
They're not homosexual.
They're not homosexual. That's why they call it LGBT because LGBTQII and all this other stuff. Because everybody has their own way of how they view it, and you always have these little levels of gray and stuff. Like a transgender person can be homosexual, but a lot of them are actually heterosexual.
Oh, like Carly Jenner's dad,
Bruce.
Exactly.
Bruce. I mean, not Bruce.
Bruce claims he's heterosexual. He claims he's still. Excuse me. Caitlyn claims that she is still attracted to women, regardless of what her body looks like.
Oh damn! I thought because Caitlyn identified as a woman. Heterosexual would mean she's attracted to men. Damn, this shit blowing.
Yeah, that's my point.
She's attracted to women still.
But then I do remember seeing her go out on a date with a black man. So then I was like, well, are you exploring?
Young boy then.
Are you exploring or what? Because sexuality has a lot of nuances to it that a lot of people just aren't comfortable with.
I tell people that too. It's like one of our great friends, what's her face? You know who I'm talking about. From Mental Dialogue, who me and you both know, we both cool with.
I'm not going to mention no names.
No, I brought her name up because she's the one that taught me about sexual fluidity.
Okay, I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah, we can say her name, Treese.
Yeah, Treese. Love Treese. Treese got my heart.
Treese always has to educate you.
Yeah, she does. Treese has educated me throughout the years. Why not? Hilarious. Hilarious.
That's because you didn't listen and didn't get educated.
Facts. Maybe you've been around Treese more.
Treese my big sister. So
I love. Listen, you don't understand. I love Treese for real. Like a lot of people, how behind the scenes. Me and her don't even talk a lot, but I think so much of my growth to that woman. Like that woman, she drilled it in me to become a learned man, a practical science. Learning as man. I love that girl. But woman.
And she makes cute babies.
She does have some good looking ass fucking kids. Bro.
She makes cute
She makes
babies.
some good looking ass kids.
I asked her
bro.
because she make one for me.
Hey, man, I'm gonna call her.
Miko done been over to the house for dinner.
Well, she told me not never to tell nobody that. So I'm
I
not.
already know because he came ate up half of my food and then left and still ate some.
Hey man,
You used to that.
a good meal, man. Good meal. In.
Go ahead.
But I was saying that to say that fluidity, like that's why like I don't trip off of men who like to be pegged and stuff like that, Mark. You know, when y'all like to do y'all thing, it's like, well,
Some men do like to be pegged, you know.
Some men like to,
He said he don't trip off of it
I don't trip
anymore.
off
He
of it. That's what I'm saying.
First of all, I don't get paid. Never have in my life.
Try
Tried
it.
it?
No.
How
You know,
how you know
be
you
lifting your legs.
how you know you don't like it?
I didn't, you can't like something that you never participate in.
So you don't know you like it.
I don't know if I like it or dislike it, but I know I'm not trying it. It's not a comfort zone that I got.
Expand your
exploration.
horizons.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
next question.
Spread.
Go
Try
ahead.
it.
But
Get some Beyonce.
Miko be.
Have
I think-
Beyonce peg
I'm
you.
just-
Just Miko be like this over the.
No, I do love a great rim job. That's
Nah.
That's the entry point.
Gabriel Union
Nah,
has brought that to the forefront.
I know women who dealt with me know that that's the only thing I love.
Man,
is
you
a
know
rim
Miko
job.
don't watch right.
I definitely.
So he
Hey,
messing with Brady.
y'all ain't getting ready to do peg because y'all ain't strong enough. So there,
Oh, okay. Well, I'll take that.
I'll agree with
That's
that.
cool.
Go ahead.
you ain't strong enough. That's something you have to practice.
Challenging a nigga on my.
I challenge you. You ain't strong. You ain't strong enough. You ain't strong enough.
The peg challenge. Are you gonna accept it?
Nope. Pass.
Nah, but even one of my
I ain't with this
girlfriends
shit.
told me that she said gay men are the strongest men in the world. I said, why you say that? She said, my boyfriend wanted to do that to me one time and it hurt so bad. She said, never again. She said, I can't believe y'all do that for pleasure. You can't tell me a gay man's a sissy if he's able to do that.
Now, a woman told me that they don't have anal penis. So certain women, they just got to be built for that type of stuff and to be able to find pleasure in it. Because all buttholes ain't built equally.
Not built the same.
Yeah. So, but so like men having, and I want black men especially to be comfortable, like knowing that there's a spectrum. There's no such thing as, because you like experimenting these certain things with a woman that you're this type of way. It's like, nah, you just like what you like.
You like what you like, and that's between you and your partner behind closed doors.
Even I met a chick who told me her fantasy is to have a threesome with her dude, and a transsexual woman.
Yeah, I've heard that
You
one.
know what I'm saying? And it's like,
titties and dick or what?
Yep, that's what that is.
Huh?
Transgender woman.
No. I'm
He's
saying,
asking anatomically. That would be a person
No, I
that
know
has.
what it is. No, I'm not saying.
But
I'm
you're
saying,
explaining it to him.
What's the purpose of the fantasy as opposed to two women or?
I mean, you like what you like.
you like what
No, I get it.
Yeah, that's what.
You're asking what the purpose. I'm like, you like what you like.
That doesn't always. That's the thing about a spectrum. It isn't always black and white. It isn't always clear. It's just variation.
And with sex, it's so different. Like I was like, that's one of the first things white people will say. I slept with all kinds of black people. That doesn't mean you're not a racist. You just like black dick.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
I made a post on FetLife. I was like, I was like, just because I'm sorry, because I got tired of these white women only using us as black bulls, and then but in the corporate life or outside,
Don't mean he want to marry one.
facts. That's a see, when me and James there, we there.
Don't
but
mean
when
he
we
wanna
at
marry
odds,
one.
goddamn,
He's
we at
trying to
odds.
use them like they use him.
No, I'm just.
Oh well, we gonna be used and we gonna have a fun time and you gonna go home and I'm gonna go home. Huh?
No, first off, hell no.
Hey man, is there a group I'm missing out on? Now see, even though I'm gay, I could be somewhere. I could be over in the little corner and everything. I could
You are
direct.
the corner, goddamn.
Hold on, so-
I'll be over in the corner.
I want you to answer this defining question.
Okay.
As a gay man, can you be around men and know if a dude, or are there telltale signs or usual signs that a straight dude might be with the?
Yeah, but don't ask me. My gaydar is so bad.
Mine too. Mine
probably
trash.
My
I didn't think you
my
was gay
way.
when I first met you.
That's good.
I
That's
did.
why I like it.
I did.
How'd you know?
But when you sitting there and you like when you just sitting there, it's like all right, he's just because you stand like this though.
You definitely come off like a Jeffrey.
But right, you come off
Jeffrey.
You
Polished
come off as
motherfucker.
pretentious first,
Pretentious than the
and
motherfucker.
then like, cause mental dialogue be like 2 hours, something like that, and then you just start seeing everything. So you see the breakdown.
He said the man start just dripping off.
Just start dripping that bra off and shit.
James get the rolling them out.
And then over time,
James come off like a rich bitch nigga.
When
Bro.
James get
like a
comfortable,
real
he get
rich
comfortable, too.
motherfucker, a rich ass uncle.
I'm from Macon.
Right,
We're
you
the
from
kings and
Atlanta.
queen. I've lived here most of my life. I can claim both.
I was about
That's
to say,
that
which one you
duality.
claim, man?
So what?
I claim Louisville, Kentucky, where I was born, where my family from, but I also claim Atlanta because I graduated college and everything.
Let's go way back into the conversation.
Okay.
How difficult is it or would it be for people who don't live in Atlanta or progressive cities, sexually at least?
Well, it just depends. The society has just changed even since I was little. Like one of my best friends is 10 years older than me, and then when I tell him stuff, he says, "You just don't know what you do for me, James, the way you talk and stuff." He says, because when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, gay was the worst thing you could be in the black community. It was the worst thing. He's like, I saw a guy when I was like only 10 some years old being chased by a group of other men. They wanted to beat him up. They chased him in a tree. And he said, I was 10 years old.
Damn.
Only thing I could do was just scream like, stop. But that's the thing. People that have a problem with homosexuality use it as something in themselves. He said later on, same dude, there was the ringleader came back and hit on me.
Whoa.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I'm like, men don't care. They don't want to know anything about gay people. They don't want to know about the mechanics like that. It's like, whatever, man, you do you.
Yeah.
If you that obsessed and that concerned about what I do in my bedroom, that's probably a little something else. Usually,
I agree to
yeah,
that.
it's
What
kind of
about
like
the ones
people
that
on a
hide
diet that
behind-
get mad when they see you eating a piece of cake.
Wait, how you eat? You eat cake different?
No, I'm just saying. Have you seen people that on a diet and you can't eat nothing around them?
James, you eat cake different?
Now, what you say about straight men who be detail oriented about what gay men do?
That's what I was about to say. I was just gonna let that go. But no, I'm serious. When you are restricted from something,
Yeah, I get what you're
and
saying.
you see other people indulge in what you can't do,
Yeah.
that's when you get mad. Like,
Do you
like
think that also
that.
happens when people hide behind a veil of religion?
Yeah, for real. Because like that's what thing my friend was telling me. He said, I'll be like, people in the church say you ain't supposed to do this and do that, and that's because they holy and stuff. He said, that ain't that, man. He said, that's because they can't get that leg up high anymore, and they don't want you to. The old people in church done did everything they were big and bad enough to do. Now they old and decrepit. They like, I might not be here much long. I need to get ready with the Lord, and now they don't want you to experience any life.
So what can we do? Like,
Yeah.
because there seems to be this big ass wall between the socialization of outwardly heterosexual men, gay men, and people that identify as hetero men.
Good luck, because the thing is, I have privilege. Like intersectionality, you men just said cross is straight.
Yeah.
So most
30
men,
seconds.
most
30 seconds.
30 seconds was enough to get so there. So there. It must have worked.
Facts.
But seriously,
No, you can't say facts to that.
but seriously, what I'm saying is that I am not what people consider stereotypically gay. I don't dress in loud colors. I don't snap my
You're the
fingers.
first gay man I ever seen with African medallion.
I'm all about the
I
motherland.
swear, you the first.
Not only that, and I got it with the line of Judah. You know what I'm
Oh, my
saying?
God.
Yeah,
This
because
is
Christianity is from
Israelite
Africa. That's right.
Yeah.
Don't forget. But my point is, I get straight privilege, so I'm allowed in some spaces that some other gay men are not. Because you have me in here, you don't have someone going like, girl, please, girl, sis.
That's true.
So
That's true.
that's the thing, and like I always tell people, it's not necessarily an issue of acceptance and tolerance, or it is. Like I tell people, I'm tolerated, and there's a difference. Just like white people tolerate black people. It's a difference between acceptance and tolerance. Even in my church, I already know I'm tolerated. And most of them know I'm gay.
Because you tithe often.
No, that's not even it. Because I have straight privilege. I conform.
This way.
I conform. So my thing is like
More.
at my church. Well, I've been here the whole time, so I must have never been in here.
You keep leaning that way.
Mike
Oh.
is trying to be-
Well, my thing is, for instance, like people always say, how you think they would go at your church if you did this and this? I said, they already know I'm gay. I said, but I've never brought a boyfriend.
Dang,
I've
for
never.
real?
No, well, take that back. I brought maybe 1 or 2, but they've only came 1 or 2 times.
Gotcha.
But I'm like, what would happen if I went to my church every Sabbath? I'm a 7-day Adventist, and I had a boyfriend. I had a boyfriend sitting next to me every Sabbath, and I was sitting with my boyfriend like this. That tolerance would probably be like,
true.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But as long as I'm basically like a eunuch,
Yeah.
like we don't. Well, he says he's gay. We've never seen him
Is
kiss
that-
a
is
guy.
As
that-
long as you're more conforming.
Yeah.
it's more
Exactly.
palatable for
Is
it.
that fair? Does that feel comfortable? Like, what is?
I've gotten used to it, but some of my friends that are more militant gay, they're like, "Oh hell no, you shouldn't even go in there. Why would you even go there?" Blah blah blah. And like I tell them, I said, like it or not, we're the minority. I said it's less than 2 to 5% of the population that's openly gay. Some people say it's probably 10% of population is gay, but most of them are closeted. So there's only about 2 to 3% of us that are willing to come out and say. And I'm not saying that's not insignificant because, I'm good in statistics. Like only 2% of the population is Jewish, to give it in context.
Gotcha.
It's like if you know someone Jewish, then you know someone gay.
Right.
So that's the thing. So it's like saying, how do we bridge the gap? With me, yeah, I'm invited to the barbecue because most dudes know he ain't going to try to hit on me.
Wait, do you play spades?
No, I
He ain't
don't.
invited to mine.
He's been in your house multiple times.
But seriously, like I
I've been in your
remember
house before. I was there when he was at your
No,
crib.
how many times you been in the crib?
about 2 or 3.
Thank you. See, it's goof fam.
No, I knew he came before, but
He table when y'all was playing spades.
I probably was sitting there. I wasn't
He wasn't
playing.
playing, but he was watching.
I grew up Christians don't play cards, but that's another thing. But seriously,
This motherfucker is the gay Teddy Sharp, bro. I swear to God.
no, I'm serious though. But for real, I was talking about the privilege. Like I remember this one dude I used to work with, and he couldn't stand me, but his girlfriend and me were like this, right? And
You be still a men girl on the low.
I do because they want me. The gay women love gay
He might
men.
be the plug on it.
Hey, for
But this is what he told her.
Yeah.
He like, I can't stand that Fruity Pebbles MF. And then this was like in 2001. But and she like, but I hang out with him and stuff like that. He's like, oh yeah, I like that. It's like, well, why you like that? Because even though he Fruity Pebble, he looked like a real man. So I know as long as you out with him, ain't no dudes getting ready to step to you. And that's the truth. Whenever I go out with my female friends, they always think I'm the husband or the boyfriend.
Why do chicks do that and then expecting us to holler like you with this goddamn
And that's why I tell them.
stoic ass man on
They be like, that's what my friend be like. She like, ain't no one talking to me. I said, look who you standing next to.
Facts, yo. Come on, yo. Facts.
So it's like a double-edged sword. It's like they want to hang around me because like, well, I feel so protected. You with him and stuff like that. But then at the same point, other dudes ain't gonna talk.
Facts.
I've even been with someone like, oh, it's all right, dude. You can talk. Yeah, I'm gay. Yeah.
So I know if I'm in a certain place, like let's say I'm the black guy.
Mm-hmm.
I hated being the token black guy.
Mm-hmm.
It was, people feel more comfortable making black jokes or using black lingo and stuff like that. How uncomfortable are you with it? And
You
how
do look like Talib Kweli.
that's not a quintessential black.
Oh, sorry.
You blacker than black, so you don't know.
That's the Shaka Zulu Mandingo man.
That's how you every dark skinned nigga in the world. But, so when it comes down to it, how uncomfortable are you with it? What?
You know what? I'm weird like that, so don't use me as the
No
thing.
gaydar and you weird like that.
Well, for instance, you maybe.
Right, we should have got a real
You should have solicited.
You probably should have, because my thing is, for one thing, I don't even get offended that easily. I'll laugh at the stuff, and that's been all my life. I remember my cousins and brothers would be like, he was making fun of you. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah.
Damn, James.
I'm like,
well, it's also funny because James humor.
I have such a good sense of humor.
James will say some gay shit.
James
You be
is-
like, this motherfucking gay.
Nah.
It's still. So I feel
Yo,
like-
James will definitely DM me some shit. I'm like, James, if you don't get that.
I'm like, I just want you to see it. I just be like, I want his opinion.
Okay.
James will DM me some shit, and it'll be late at night. I'm like, James, you don't get your gay ass
James
out.
want you to see it. That's
But
why.
it's like just it's friendly banter. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he don't take offended to it, because I take a lot of jokes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so it'd be cool. That's why, like James is cool as hell, because it's like James don't be tripping on trying to make everything a hot topic. a political offense. You know?
Exactly.
Because humans are humans. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
That's what it is. It's like
But
before
when
you get to gay, straight.
But when you tag me on your post, all your gay friends do be sending me friend requests.
Really?
Bro, they be like my shit.
I'm glad
That makes me mad. Now, why they don't like
I
me?
be gonna tag it. I'm like, man.
He'll tag 30 people. I just ignore all
Nah,
of
bro. He sometimes have 1 or 2 posts, or let him share a post of mine or something. Bro, his gay friend.
But you know, but that's
That's weird.
No. But that what it is that's his effect with everybody. Cause he'll start when he do that, it'd be like my people will start adding them.
But bro, but I'm just saying, in particular, when he tags me on posts, and there's only like 6 people in there, or 2, because he might tag me or just Trees, and boom, I get a wave of gay friends coming through. Mutual friends with James.
Wow. Well, some of my gay friends are very influential, so you might want to be friends with them. You
No, I
never
do
know.
some
You
of them,
never
yeah.
know.
I do some of them, yeah.
Some of them like, yeah, you trash, get away. But some of them you might want to be friends with. Because my friends are doctors, lawyers, and stuff like that. I'm the scrub in the group. Shoot. I'm trying to catch up.
All right, so let me ask you this. Would you ever consider seriously dating a woman?
Seriously? No. But I would possibly make an arrangement. I've offered this to like several women. I said, look, I want a baby. You want a baby. Let's get together, have the baby. We can use turkey baster. I don't even have to touch you.
Damn, you don't even want to touch him?
I don't have to touch you. And basically, and then I'll be like, and on top of that, I will marry you because I want to make sure you and my baby are taken care of in case something happens. And I'll be like, and I'll have my men on the side. Yeah. You can have your men on the side, just as long as they don't think they're going to move up in here.
Do you think your men would care?
Some would, some wouldn't. I mean, you just don't know. I mean, people have arrangements. They just don't talk about them.
That's why I'm curious why you never entered into the poly lifestyle, because they do a lot of that.
Because I think that my bark is bigger than my bite. I think mentally I could think it, but physically doing it, like I don't even know if I could do poly. I could probably do an open relationship. Okay. Poly is mean I have to mentally and spiritually and possibly financially support 5 different people.
No. It's so many dynamics.
That's why I said open relationship. Open relationship I could do.
I researched it a little bit.
Well, we have a mutual friend that's in the poly community.
We do?
Yeah. Dr. Sujata.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He got
I know he ain't taking care of no multiple people
too.
Well, when I say take care, I'm not saying 100%. But since all 3 people in a relationship,
everybody's contributing to the pot.
So no, let's just say that all 3 of us are in a poly relationship. Not sexually. Let's just say we just decide we're gonna be in a poly relationship. James gets a wife, and you 2 get to smash or whatever. Something happens to
smash who, your wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So let's just say something financially happens to Mark. We ain't gonna just leave Mark out there. All 3 of us are going to have to make sure Mark's taken care of because we're responsible for him.
Okay, gotcha.
Something happens to Miko.
That's how poly works?
That's how poly works. Or it can. So basically...
So it's not the man's part to have to take care of everybody.
In a polygamous relationship it is. With multiple wives.
To some extent, too. If you're dealing with if you're dealing... What's that show? Sister Wives.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with one of those, but let's be honest, especially in our community, most of these people, women especially, it's not you. The idea that you're gonna find 3-4 women that all gonna be your housewife and not have to work. Number one, most men can't financially provide.
Exactly.
So you're going to have multiple working people within this dynamic. Now, if y'all got 6 kids among y'all, you might have one stay at home, take care of the kids, and y'all all gonna have y'all different dynamics, but it's not gonna equal up to you being the only provider.
Exactly. Like I said, it's a pot. It's all 3.
Yeah.
And it just depends. That's why I say I probably more or less do an open relationship. Like I have a friend that's in an open relationship now. Him and his dude, that's the primary. But they have an arrangement that if they see someone they want to smash outside, they can do that.
Gotcha.
He's not responsible, but they're not responsible for that person. So, in other words, my friend and his dude, they're responsible for each other. If he goes on a date with this guy, he smashes him. If he goes on a date maybe 2-3 times, and then that dude says, "Oh man, I'm kind of low on funds tonight. Can you hook me up?" No, because we just smashing. You ain't my dude. This guy over here is my dude. Now he needs it. I'm gonna help him.
Gotcha.
That's an open relationship.
Gotcha.
Now, I could possibly do that versus a poly, because I have friends that are trying to do that. A throuple.
Yeah.
A throuple would be like what he said, and you might have one woman that stays home. Well, if she's staying at home, you think she's doing that 100% for free?
No.
And that's my point. And what happens if she decides she doesn't want to be in the throuple anymore?
Damn.
You're going to have to pay her out.
Yeah, asked out. Yeah.
No, you're going to have to pay her out, especially if it's
How?
legal.
I was about to say how, because
I don't know how it's
Not
done.
in all cases, because I know a homegirl who was the girlfriend in a throw, and it's a lot. But let's be honest, black folks don't be having the income for all of this.
That's my point. And that's why I said I probably wouldn't do that. I would probably do more open relationship.
You got a house, you got good
Dude,
job.
we was talking about the income, and we was talking about why gay people have more money and stuff. I don't have any children. You know me, I work 4 different jobs.
So no reason.
If I had children, I couldn't do that.
Fact.
No, I don't do it for no reason. You in HR, you know y'all don't pay us nothing. You know y'all don't pay us nothing.
Fact. You don't do shit but
You know
fire.
y'all don't pay us
James
nothing.
asked me,
Mark the
maybe-
most call and let motherfuckers go out and recruit.
Exactly.
James asked me about 3-4 years ago about a security cert, because
Okay.
I was researching it too.
Mm-hmm.
James ain't did nothing. He's still out here.
Dude, but guess what? I'm working on my master's now in information services. So that.
And
He did
these
say he was
master's
cool.
degrees is cute.
Well, guess what? My job's paying for it, so it's going to
That's
be very
fine. It
cute.
don't matter. Like I told a girl told me today she was gonna get an MBA and then get a certification in admin assist, like as an admin assistant. How the fuck you getting an MBA then?
Yeah, that
Like,
kind of
it's
doesn't
free.
make sense.
You're just wasting your time.
That's a big fact. I don't
You
understand.
just
What that's
wasting your
working backwards.
time, and-
She should be, if she getting a master's, she should be working on becoming a damn executive.
They
Yeah.
could be paying for even the executive assistant.
Yeah.
You fighting for 13 jobs.
Yeah, you are.
So like the executive assistant might make 90.
Yeah.
However, you telling me motherfuckers out here, but it don't equal up to the time you got to put in. Do something. You can make.
I already know after I get the master, I'm going to have to get some certifications to back it up.
Then the
But it
question
does
is,
make
why
me...
not go get
help-
the search
help.
first?
Because just like when I went to be a bartender and people said, "Oh, that's a waste of time," people don't hire inexperienced bartenders.
No,
Well,
in this economy now, that's not the same thing.
Yeah, but no, you gotta understand this. Most people are used to formalized
That too.
Yeah, 'cause
It
he's
just-
old.
It's the security blanket that comes. So whenever I talk to people, and people know I preach about my cloud engineering, I be helping XYZ. I get why people rather take the route of going to a formal college versus the certification route. Because I get
wonderful.
it. It makes
That's
sense.
wonderful. But I mean, not James, but
Yeah.
I hate when people, like you told me, don't come to me for my expertise and then listen to your grandma.
That's why I charge. That's what I'm telling your
Right.
goof ass before he started consulting. He's like, I want to help people. I'm going to help people. I said, Mark, you're going to burn yourself out. I
No, I'm
said,
still
bro,
gonna do
you
it.
have to start charging people so you can filter motherfuckers away who
Yeah.
be serious and not serious.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna do it.
Ah, that's fine.
Like I'm
but don't
still
be
do
up
my
here complaining
annual.
about
I'm gonna do my annual giveaway, but it's not really them. It's the people who, like, it's.
But, hold on. I want before because
We ain't gotta go there.
But hold on,
We
yeah,
ain't gotta
because I want to get this tidbit out because James, this is one of the valuable parts of knowing you as well is that you know so much about the city, man. So much about the city. So what trends do you see? Do you think it's this year or next year? Do you think now is a good time to buy in Atlanta?
Self-serving.
And yeah, because I'm dealing with that.
It's time to buy because one of my best friends, he manages a condominium, and the economist for Georgia State lives there, and he says this is predicted to go for the next 5 years.
Damn.
They do not predict the bubble happening, and if it does happen, it's not going to be here in Atlanta, Georgia. Our economy has diversified. When the first recession happened back in 2008, most of Georgia's economy, or Atlanta, was based off of building new homes. And what happened is we stopped in 2008, but people kept moving here. And they said this was going to happen. They says when the economy starts back, we are going to have a shortage of housing because we're not building them. And they stopped building in 2008, if you remember. So now,
We was young, James.
oh, I'm sorry. Well, I was, what was I,
We
28?
definitely living on Section 8.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, anyway, in 2008, the economy collapsed for like several years, and Atlanta, Georgia was still hit like everywhere else, and they stopped building. People still kept moving here. People kept having babies. We have basically now in Atlanta, Georgia, a 10-year housing shortage based off of
Damn,
population
10 years?
growth. Yeah. Because that's about how long it took it to start.